All right, let's talk about something really powerful. We're going to dive into how the food on your plate can become this incredible tool for strengthening, well, two of the most vital organs you've got, your heart and your liver. And you know what? It's way simpler and honestly more delicious than you probably think. So let's get right into it.
So have you ever found yourself in a situation, maybe you're recovering from a health scare, or you're just feeling the effects of being on medication for a long time, and you ask yourself, can what I eat actually help me here? I mean, really make a difference? Well, what we're going to uncover today is that the answer to that question is a huge, resounding yes.
And here's the best part. The solution isn't some crazy, restrictive diet with a million rules you have to follow. No way. It's actually about shifting how we think about food. We're talking about a way of eating that's vibrant, that's genuinely enjoyable, and because of that, it's something you can stick with. It's built on pleasure, not on punishment. And that, right there, is the soul of the Mediterranean approach.
Okay, so you might be wondering, why does this work so well? What's the secret sauce? Let's get into the science of it, but don't worry, we're going to keep it super simple and straightforward. No biology degree required, I promise.
It really comes down to four main things, four huge benefits. First, it's cardioprotective. Basically, it's your heart's best friend. Second, it's liver supportive, giving that super important organ the backup it needs. And then the two that make it all possible. It's adaptable to your life and it's sustainable for the long haul. Because let's be real, that's the only way anything ever sticks, right?
So let's dig into that first one. Cardioprotective. What does that even mean? Well, think about the healthy fats you get from stuff like good olive oil, nuts, and fish. They're not just calories, oh no. They act like this little cleanup crew inside your body. They go around reducing what scientists call oxidative stress, which is just a fancy way of saying they reduce cellular damage. And that helps keep your blood vessels nice and flexible. It's a total game changer for your heart.
Okay, and what about your liver? Well, for your liver, eating this way is basically like sending it on a spa retreat. Seriously, when you focus on whole foods, you're giving it all this amazing fiber and antioxidants. That's the stuff it needs to do its main job, cleaning out all the gunk way more efficiently. It also helps to dial down internal inflammation, which we now know is a major player in a lot of chronic health issues.
All right, so that's the why behind it all. We get it. It's good for us. But now for the really fun part, the how. Let's turn all this great science into a real, practical action plan. I'm talking 5 clear goals you can start aiming for.
So, here's the game plan, our 5 focus areas. First up, we want to stabilize our blood glucose, get off that crazy energy roller coaster. Next, we're going to actively work on reducing inflammation using the power of food. Third, we support what's called hepatic clearance. That's just helping your liver do its cleaning job. Then we balance our energy output so we don't get that awful post-meal crash. And finally, and this one is so important, we encourage mindful eating. And you'll see, they're not separate things. They all work together, one supporting the other.
Just to give you a taste of how this works, let's focus on that goal of reducing inflammation. This is where it gets really delicious. We are not talking about boring, bland health food here. I want you to picture your plate, just loaded with vibrant, colorful vegetables, sweet berries, fragrant herbs, and that rich, delicious, oily fish. All of those things aren't just tasty, they are packed, and I mean packed, with natural compounds that fight inflammation in your body. How cool is that? Okay, I know what you might be thinking right about now. This all sounds great, but it also sounds kind of complicated, right? Well, I'm here to tell you it's absolutely not. Let's get right into the practical toolkit. All the simple swaps and easy tools that make this whole thing incredibly doable. First things first, forget about counting every single calorie. Seriously, just throw that idea out the window. All you need is this simple visual for your plate. Think of it this way. Fill half of it, a whole half, with non-starchy veggies. Think greens, broccoli, peppers, you name it. Then fill 1/4 with some good quality lean protein. And that last quarter, that's for your whole grains or beans. That's it. It's a simple, powerful guide for pretty much every meal. And a lot of this just comes down to making small, really smart swaps that add up over time. So instead of your standard white bread, maybe you try a tangy sourdough. The fermentation process actually makes it easier on your blood sugar. Or you could find some of these awesome high-fiber wraps made from things like lupin flour. It's from a legume, so it's packed with protein. And for that sweet craving, instead of reaching for sugary candy, how about some fresh berries with a dollop of yogurt? See? Simple changes, big impact. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room for so many of us, sugar cravings.
They can be a huge hurdle, right? Well, here's a really fascinating tool from the world of herbal medicine. It's called gymnema. In some traditions, its name literally translates to the sugar destroyer. How amazing is that? It's an herb that can actually help you naturally manage those super intense cravings, which, makes all those smart swaps we just talked about feel a whole lot easier.
Okay, so we've talked food, we've talked swaps, we've talked tools, but to wrap this up, let's zoom out a little and talk about the core philosophy. Because honestly, the mindset behind all of this is what makes it stick for life.
And if there's one thing you take away from all of this, let it be this. Yes, food is medicine, it absolutely is. But it also has to be a source of pleasure. It has to be enjoyable. The second you realize that taking care of yourself and enjoying your food are not enemies, that they can actually be the same thing, everything changes. This is not about what you have to give up. It's about all the amazing, delicious food you get to add in.
So I want to leave you with a question. And I don't want you to think about overhauling your entire kitchen tomorrow. No. Just think about today. What's one simple, delicious, and positive change you can make for your very next meal? That's it. Because that's where the whole journey begins.